Okay, so if you're managing any kind of advertising spend right now, you know it's a lot. Data everywhere. Clicks, impressions, conversions. It feels like you're drowning sometimes,
Yeah,
trying to figure out what actually moves the needle.
it really does. And with so many channels, social display, video, CTC, the key isn't just getting seen anymore. It's about getting seen efficiently. You have to nail the basic metrics that tell you about your reach.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing today. We're going deep on the sources we've gathered about ad performance metrics. Specifically, we're looking at the absolute bedrock, cost per mil, or CPM.
Uh-huh.
We'll cover how it's calculated, why it matters compared to other metrics, and crucially, how competitive intelligence tools help benchmark and really optimize where those ad dollars are going.
Yeah, and our sources are pretty direct here. They're drawing from marketing intelligence platforms, so we're getting the practical definitions and use cases. The goal is that by the end of this, you won't just know what CPM stands for. You'll understand why it behaves the way it does, those forces pushing the cost up or down, and, how to maybe manage them a bit better.
All right, let's lay that foundation first. CPM. We threw the acronym around all the time.
Yeah.
The M remind us.
Right, so M is for mil. It's Latin, means thousand. So cost per mil is just your ad cost per 1,000 impressions. Simple as that.
Right.
For marketers, it's really the go-to metric for understanding the cost effectiveness of just getting eyeballs, scale, and reach.
It's not just for digital, is it?
Yeah.
So as mentioned, it's pretty universal.
Oh, absolutely. It applies across the board. Modern programmatic buying, sure, but also the way traditional media like print or TV used to think about pricing. It's the baseline for visibility costs.
Got it. And the math behind it. Pretty simple, I think.
Very simple. You just take your total campaign spend, divide that by the total number of impressions you got.
Okay, that gives you cost per single impression.
Exactly. Then multiply that number by 1,000. Boom, that's your CPM.
So let's make that real. Say $5,000 spent, and it generated 200,000 impressions. Walk us through it.
Okay, 5,000 divided by 200,000, then times 1,000. That comes out to a CPM of $25.
$25, meaning it costs $25 to show that ad 1,000 times.
Precisely. Now, the calculation is easy, like you said. The hard part is figuring out if that $25 is actually good.
Right. Context is everything.
Totally. And that depends on all those other factors we need to get into. But first, maybe quickly touch on eCPM. It comes up a lot too.
Good point. eCPM, what's the E?
Effective. Effective cost per mil. It uses the same 1,000 impression base, but it measures revenue, not cost.
Ah, so this is more from the publisher's side.
Exactly. It tells a publisher how much money they're making for every 1,000 impressions shown on their site or platform. It's all about how profitable their ad space, their inventory actually is. They want that number high.
Okay, that makes sense. So CPM is set, but like you said, in campaign analysis, it doesn't live in a vacuum. We always hear about it alongside CPC and CPA. Yeah. How did these three work together or against each other strategically?
Think of them mapping to different goals or maybe different funnel stages. CPM, like we said, is usually top of funnel. It's about awareness, getting your brand name out there, pure visibility.
Just making sure people see you exist.
Right. Then hopefully people start to interact, and that's where CPC comes in.
Cost per click.
Yep, average cost per click. This metric is all about engagement. Are people interested enough to actually click your ad? If your goal is driving traffic to a website or a landing page, you're probably optimizing hard for CPC.
Trying to get that cost down for clicks that actually matter.
Exactly. And then there's the final piece, CPA.
Cost per acquisition. This feels like where the money is really made or lost.
It often is. CPA is the bottom line conversion metric. It measures your ad cost against a specific desired action. That could be someone signing up, downloading an app, making a purchase.
The actual business result.
The actual result. It tells you exactly what you paid to get one customer or one lead. It's the ultimate measure of campaign profitability.
So if you're running a campaign, you might start broad with CPM, focusing on reach. But then as you refine things, the focus shifts. You need to justify that reach by showing it leads to clicks and ultimately to actions, meaning a good CPA.
That's generally the ideal flow, yeah. CPM gets you in the game, gets you scale, but CPC and especially CPA are how you prove the value of that scale. It's about ROI.
So the choice depends on the campaign goal. Awareness versus direct sales.
Absolutely. For a brand awareness push, CPM might be your primary KPI. For a performance campaign trying to sell widgets, you might tolerate a higher CPM if it leads to a fantastic CPA. It's all about which metric gives you the best. Well, the best bang for your buck for that specific goal.
Okay, so knowing your CPM is $25 is just the start. The real game is managing it, improving it, optimization. What are the levers we can actually pull? What makes that $25 go up or down?
Right, this is where it gets interesting. Our sources point to 4 main factors that are constantly in play. They're dynamic, they influence each other. It's complex.
Let's break them down. First one, ad quality. How does the creative itself affect the cost?
Significantly. Ad platforms, think Google, Facebook, etc., they want good ads on their sites. Ads that are engaging, that look good, that are relevant, ads that people don't hate seeing.
Because it keeps users on their platform.
Exactly. So if your ad quality is high, the platform often rewards you. You might get better placement, more visibility, and crucially, often a lower CPM. It's an incentive to not just spam users with junk.
That's interesting. So there's a trade-off there. You might spend more creating a really high-quality ad,
Yeah, production costs.
but you potentially save money on the distribution, on the CPM.
That's the balance you're always trying to strike. Okay, second factor, ad placement. This sounds like pure real estate.
It kind of is. It's supply and demand, basically. Where your ad shows up matters hugely. An ad banner at the very top of a major news site, that's prime real estate.
Going to cost more? Absolutely. Compared to, say, a small ad buried way down the page or on a less popular site, that's remnant inventory, much cheaper.
And placement isn't just where, it's when, too, right?
Yeah.
I think the sources mentioned seasonality.
Oh, big time. Think about Q4, the holiday shopping season. Everybody wants to advertise.
Demand spikes.
Demand goes through the roof. More advertisers bidding for the same limited space, especially on popular channels like connected TV streaming platforms. Prices go up. CPMs inflate just because of that competitive pressure, regardless of your ad quality sometimes.
Okay, that makes sense. Factor number 3, ad relevance. How does hitting the right audience affect cost?
Relevance is all about not wasting money. If you can tightly target your ad only to the people most likely to be interested in your product.
Your specific demographics or interests.
Exactly. Then you're minimizing wasted impressions. You're not paying to show your ad to thousands of people who were never, ever going to buy from you anyway.
So better targeting means fewer impressions needed overall to get results, which helps the effective cost.
Precisely. A $25 CPM might sound high, but if almost everyone's seeing that ad as a potential customer, that $25 is way more valuable than, say, a $10 CPM where maybe only 5% of the audience cares. It's about efficiency. Better relevance means better value from your spend.
Right. Not just cheap impressions, but valuable ones.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last factor, bidding strategies. How you actually buy the ad space.
Yeah, this is your direct control mechanism in many ways. Are you manually setting your bids, trying to snipe low prices? Or are you using automated bidding through a platform?
Like a demand-side platform, DSP.
Exactly. Using a DSP, you can tell the system how much you're willing to pay, what your goals are, maybe maximize reach, maybe hit a target CPA, and it bids automatically in these massive split-second auctions.
So your strategy here directly impacts the CPM you end up paying. A cautious bid might mean a lower CPM, but maybe less reach.
Could be. Or an aggressive bid might guarantee you get seen, ensure scale for that awareness campaign, but you'll likely pay a higher CPM for it.
It's a balancing act.
It really is. The DSP gives you the tools, but you need the strategy to balance cost against the reach and the scale you actually need for your goals.
Understanding those 4 factors, quality, placement, relevance, bidding, that feels like the key to moving from just knowing the CPM number to actually managing it. But how do you know if your $25 CPM is good or bad compared to everyone else? That's where competitive intelligence comes in, right?
Absolutely essential. The sources really highlight this. Intelligence tools are what let you take your internal numbers and stack them up against the market. You see what competitors are paying, what creatives they're using, where they're placing ads.
It gives you that crucial benchmark.
Exactly. You move beyond just your own data. You start looking at performance across the whole landscape spend, creative approaches, placements, even conversion insights sometimes.
Let's talk specifics. The sources mention tracking social networks. What can you learn there? It's a huge part of most budgets.
For sure. On the big social platforms, these tools can show you competitor ads, estimate their spending levels, and even give you clues about their targeting strategies. Wow.
Okay.
So you can directly compare your ad quality, your messaging, your relevance against what the leaders in your space are doing. If a competitor's campaign is killing it, you need to figure out why. What are they doing right?
And then there's the newer, maybe more complex area, connected TV, CTV, streaming ads. Intelligence there must be pretty valuable given the costs.
Hugely valuable. CTV ads usually have higher CPMs because it's premium engaging inventory. So tracking where competitors are spending their CTV budget, which platforms, maybe Hulu versus Roku versus others, how much they're allocating.
That helps you decide if your CTV strategy makes sense.
Precisely. It helps validate your media mix. Are you overinvested or underinvested in CTV compared to competitors who are seeing success? It challenges your placement assumptions.
And the sources mention different uses for this intel, depending on who you are. Agencies, brands.
Yeah, they broke it down.
Yeah.
A brand might use it for marketing benchmarking, just making sure their costs are in line with the industry. An agency needs it to prove ROI to their clients, showing how they're outperforming the competition.
Makes sense.
But ultimately, for everyone, it feeds into smarter budget planning and building a better cross-channel media strategy. It informs those big allocation decisions.
What stands out to you as maybe the most powerful piece of insight you get from these tools, especially thinking about optimizing those 4 factors we discussed?
For me, it's probably the audience targeting insight. Understanding how your competitors are slicing and dicing the market, who they're going after, that's gold.
So refining that relevance factor.
Exactly. If you find out a competitor is having great success targeting a niche demographic you hadn't even considered, you can test that immediately. That could drastically improve your relevance, maybe boost your conversion rates, lower your effective CPA. Even if the base CPM doesn't change much initially, it just takes away so much guesswork.
Okay, this has been really clarifying. A necessary dive into the mechanics of ad efficiency. So just to quickly recap, CPM is that fundamental cost per thousand impressions, measuring reach and visibility.
Right. And we have to remember how it differs strategically from CPC, which is about engagement, and CPA, which is focused squarely on conversions on the final action.
And the real work, the strategy, lies in managing those 4 dynamic factors that influence the CPM. The quality of your ad, the placement where it runs, its relevance to the audience, and the bidding strategy you employ to buy it.
Those are the levers, constantly adjusting those based on performance and ideally competitive intelligence.
Which brings us perfectly to our final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. If CPM is how we measure getting seen, that $25 figure we talked about is just the starting point, maybe just the receipt for visibility. The real strategic question isn't just what did we pay today? It's do we have a plan using quality, placement, relevance, and bidding informed by intelligence that will actually change that price for the better next quarter? Or at least make sure we're getting maximum value from that cost.
Yeah.
Because mastering that complexity, that's the difference between just spending budget and actually executing a winning advertising strategy.